Hello, Jian. I've just been looking at your assignment. Overall, I've given you 17 out of 32, which is 53%. So could be better. The areas that you did like reasonably well for most parts. Excuse me. For the planet's description, I've given you 3 out of 3. 3 out of 4, sorry. Um, you've sort of explained where it is, though you need to make that information a little more meaningful. So I want you to put that in your own words. You've said that it has lots of ice and it might have it's got frozen gases. Seasonal conditions. I like that you've included that it has 2 seasons and quite a long time away from the sun. So one Earth, 1 year on Pluto is like a very long time, very, very long time, especially if it's not going to see the sun for 247 years. So long summer and long winter. And the temperatures will be very high in summer and very, very low in winter, uninhabitable, which you've mentioned later on. You've done reasonably well, 3 out of 4 for renewable resources. So thanks for putting that information in. I like this diagram, although it is purely theoretical. It's a good theory to explain why we have the different color clouds. And your comparison, I've put this information as part of your planet description. So you've got an extra point there. Pros and cons, I've given you 3 out of 4 again, because some of your pros could be cons and some of your cons could be pros, depending on how you're stating it. So you needed more information to explain these better, and then changes to make it more habitable. That was sort of a bit of a cop out. You could have said a few things. So you've said some there. Pluto's orbit, I'm glad that you put that in. That was really good because that made up, you had 2 out of 4 for natural phenomena and the planet's orbit, orbit. So that's good. And it's interesting that Pluto has quite a different orbit to the other planets. So it would have been good for you to put in some of the theory related around why its orbit is on a different plane to the rest of the planets in our solar system, and that's why Pluto has been downgraded from a planet um, to what it is now, which is what is it? What do we call it again? Oh, that's right. Um, a proper planet, and that's because its orbit is on a completely different plane. So there must be something in the universe that's pulling Pluto's orbit out of line with the other axes, the other planes, the planes that the other planets are on. What that is, I don't really know. So that's interesting. Pluto's natural phenomena. So more information. Great bibliography. Thank you for that. So overall, there were some improvements. You had information on every section except you didn't have any information on Pluto's position in the solar system, which is this picture here. So I'll change your mark. So your mark will actually be 18 out of 32. So I'll just go change that. All right. Thanks, Gian.